For centuries, we've all been stumped by the incredible achievements of ancient civilizations. It's one thing to look at them and wonder how they did it. But the real mystery, the deeper question, is why. So today, we're going to dive into that deep, sacred impulse that drove them to build the impossible. I mean, it's the question, right? A question that just echoes through history. We look at these massive structures that seem to defy everything we think we know about the past. They were built without our modern machines, without lasers, without any advanced computers. So how on earth did they pull it off? And look, we're not talking about small huts here. We're talking about feats on a scale that is just staggering. The Great Pyramids, right? Perfectly aligned with the stars. The unbelievable temples of India, literally carved out of solid mountains. The lost cities of the Maya and Inca, way up in the clouds. And of course, those silent, giant statues on Easter Island. These aren't just buildings. They're basically miracles in stone. And here's the absolute key to understanding all of this. It was never, ever just about putting a roof over their heads. If we stop there, if we just think about survival, we miss the entire story. The real motivation, well, it ran so much deeper than that. And that brings us to this core idea, something we can call the sacred impulse. It's this innate, universal human drive to create something way bigger than ourselves. It's about taking all the invisible stuff, our beliefs, our connection to the universe, that sense of awe, and giving it a physical, lasting shape. It was their way of reaching out and trying to touch the mystery of existence itself. So this really forces you to kind of reframe what the word technology even means, doesn't it? We immediately think of machines and computers. But what if they had a completely different kind of toolkit? One that wasn't powered by engines and electricity, but by the mind and the human spirit. Just think about the precision for a second. The Egyptians didn't just randomly pile up a bunch of stones. No way. They created these enormous maps of the heavens, right here on Earth, aligning their pyramids with specific stars and constellations. They were literally connecting their rulers directly to the cosmos. Or how about the Inca? I mean, this is just mind-blowing. They were working with these multi-ton blocks of stone, and they fit them together so perfectly, without a single drop of mortar, that you can't even slide a piece of paper between them today. That isn't just construction. That's like having a conversation with the very rock of the earth. And then you have the Maya, who took this to a whole other level. Their pyramids and their incredibly complex calendars weren't just for telling you what day it was. They were these intricate instruments that wove the cycles of the cosmos and the rhythms of human life into one single tapestry. In a very, very real way, they actually built time. So what this really shows us is a profound difference in approach, right? Where we rely on science, engineering, and raw physical strength, they relied on something else: wisdom, faith, and a deep spiritual intention. For them, every single stone that was laid had a purpose. Every alignment had a sacred meaning. The work itself, it was a ritual.
Okay, so this gets us right to the heart of the mystery. If it wasn't just about physical tools and brute force, what was the invisible engine that was driving these colossal projects? What kind of energy source were they actually tapping into?
Well, the secret might just lie in a concept we talk about today: collective consciousness. Just try to imagine it. Thousands of people, all unified, all driven by a single powerful belief. That shared purpose creates this incredible organizing energy, a force so strong that it allows a group to do something that would be absolutely impossible for any one person alone. And isn't that fascinating? We have all these different words for it now. A psychologist might call it shared symbolic energy. A sociologist might call it collective effervescence. But for the ancients, the word was much simpler and maybe more powerful. It was faith. Just the absolute, unwavering belief in the importance of what they were doing. So at the end of the day, what was all this unbelievable effort for? Well, deep down, it was a rebellion against our own mortality. In its truest sense, the act of building something that will last, it's an attempt to find a little piece of eternity. It's a way to create something that will outlive you. Every single temple, every pyramid, every one of these monuments is a message in a bottle sent forward through the millennia. It's humanity shouting into the vastness of space and time, we were here, we existed, and we too could create things of beauty and of meaning. It's an assertion of our place in the whole cosmic story. You see, the language might have changed. They called it a temple, we call it a project, but that core impulse is absolutely identical. We talk about mission statements and legacies. They talked about offerings to the gods.
It's still that same fundamental human drive to turn an idea, a belief, a faith into something real. That sacred impulse, it never went away.
And so, that big historical question kind of turns back on us. It becomes a really personal one. They built with stone and aligned their work with the stars. Today, we build with code, with companies, with families, and with art. The materials are different, but that impulse is the same. So the question is, what is the faith that you are turning into form? What are you building that's going to last?